So many players are reaching platinum across the board here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of those deck lists that players are finding success with in platinum. Be like the 33.8% of you guys have not smashed the living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so we get to 150,000. So the first list we're going to be looking at here is Crusadia. And we're going to be doing a majority of deck profiles for probably the next week or so here to kind of give you guys an idea as to what some of the Master Duel meta is actually like here. So one of the important things about this list is you're a link climbing engine that actually revolves around Equimax here as being a centralized win con for the deck. Big damage go burr effectively is the best way to say this here. Equimax in stack equal to the combined number of original attack of all the monsters it points to. So typically you'll park this in front of something that your opponent might have in a link zone or below a link zone, and you can like play kaijus and things to kind of force the attack points up for this. One of our favorite combo interactions with this deck is in the form of our dear friend Maximus here, who says basically battle damage that monster inflicts ends up being doubled. And then you have things like Revival here, that it allows your Crusadia monster to attack all of your opponent's monsters once each. So this is a list that a duelist did get into platinum with, to say the least here. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, basic hand trap functionality here. Triple copies of Regulix here. Basically, you can target a Crusadia card and one card your opponent controls and destroy them. I never really was a big fan of Regulix, even in the actual TCG. Triple copies of Arborea. Oh, God, this is our battle protection. Now, remember, all of these do have the ability to be special summoned to a zone a link monster points to. It's actually where you're going to get most of your value here. Then, of course, we have two copies of Leonis. Then we have triple copies of Draco. In another world, ladies and gentlemen, you actually get some interaction points with this being a dragon. Hi, Pisty, but not so much here. Other interesting things to note, I mean, all your Crusadias can go into this, and then basically you get the ability to search for a Crusadia card once you meet the conditions of this. But one card link monsters are very good. Alright, we have triple copies of Maximus. Alright, we already explained why this card's good. Then we actually have two copies of Mech Knight Blue Sky. We are playing a little mini Mech Knight package in here. This is going to be your column summoners. Blue Skies basically give you the ability to search for Purple Nightfall or Indigo for additional column movements here. But the main thing that I believe we're playing this for is for the interaction to put more additional bodies on the field, because literally, I mean, Link Monster and then so like a back row or something, you're good to go. Now, we also have Triple Godarla. This is that kaiju thing that I was talking about, where if you summon the Crusadia monster, like Equimax, or you can Crusadia or you can Godarla over something, put it in front of our Crusadia Equimax here. Congratulations, your Equimax is gaining the attack points of your kaiju now. It's pretty good, actually. We also have one Indigo Eclipse here, two copies of the Purple Nightfall. Then we have triple copies of the Parallel Exceed. Alright, this card is so good. We have one Lightning Strike Kaiju. So wrapping up, we have four Kaijus in the main. It's not horrible. We have one Hate Grenade. Back row removal. The thing that this deck is most notorious for is clearing the opponent's board and OTKing them. We also have two copies of Lightning Storm, one copy of the Revival, two copies of Twin Twister, two copies of Called by the Grave for spot removal and hand traps, and of course, triple copies of Forbidden Droplet. Because why would we not play one of the best cards to allow our deck to play against Tritron, right? Now we have one Link Spider, triple copies of Magius, one copy of Nightmare Cerberus, the one Nightmare Phoenix, two copies of Regulix, one copy of Spatha, one IP Masquerena, the one copy of Nightmare Unicorn, the one Equimax, one copy of Crusadia Avermax. This is actually your win con in a lot of matchups. Don't underestimate this card, alright? Then we have one copy of Access Machine, wrapping up, yes, ladies and gentlemen, a platinum-based list for Crusadia. Anytime you guys have any lists down below that you've made it to plat with, send them over. I'll take a look. Next up, we're going to be looking at what we're going to call Fishy Exodia. Now, this is basically Crooked Cook Turbo. And yes, Crooked Cook is in the game. For those of you that don't know what Crooked Cook is, while you control no other cards on the field, this card is unaffected by other card effects. Well, that's just awesome. What makes this so good? Well, Mr. Right-Hand Shark here says that an Exceed monster using only water monsters as material gains the effect of this card cannot be destroyed by battle. So what happens if I summon my Crooked Cook here and I just opt to do nothing? Oh, until I draw my win con? Exodia, the Forbidden One. Yes, I know that that's massively a cheesy idea, ladies and gentlemen, but let's be honest here. Yu-Gi-Oh's not been about fun. It's about finding ways to abuse the functionalities of things that exist on the ladder. So you are an Exodia turbo deck, ladies and gentlemen, that your entire basis revolves around creating this boss monster. Fair? No, not really. So we have one of each of the Exodia limbs. If you're a new returning player out here and you're looking at wanting to play an Exodia-based strategy, this is probably going to be one of your better ideas to do so. We have triple copies of Droll and Lockbird, stopping those annoying Drytron players from pushing in all of these large numbers. Yes, this is a good card. Then we have triple copies of the Bountiful Princess. This is actually what's going to start combo for you to get into Buzzsaw Shark. Buzzsaw Shark will resolve getting you into the Right-Hand Shark so you can effectively start combo. We have triple copies of Astral Kribo, triple copies of Maxi, gotta love the draw power, one copy of Exodia, the Forbidden One, aka our WinCon, two copies of Ash Blossom, we have two copies of Silent Angler, two copies of the Right-Hand Shark, triple copies of Buzz Buzz, with one Harpy's Feather Duster, one Instant Fusion, the one copy of One for One, one Lightning Storm, triple copies of Pot of Prosperity. Now remember, you will do solo selects on this list to kind of make sure that you can get to your resources. You still are a fish-based strategy here, so you do got to be a little bit picky with what you can do, but all things considered, this card's amazing in this deck. One Called by the Grave of One Crossout Designator. All right. Triple Evenly Matched, and two copies of Infinite Permanence here, wrapping up the main deck here. Down here in the extract, we have one Rare Fish for the Instant Fusion, so you can kind of sit up and do your thing here. We have one Utopic Future with one Utopic Future Draco, one Totally Awesome, one copy of the Bahamut Shark with one Abyss Dweller, two copies of Crooked Cook Man, and then we have one Borbo with one Chakanine. Probably might want to put in a Dryden in here just in case, but I mean, this is an extra stack for Zeus. We have one Baguski, one Stealth Kraken, two Spawns, and one copy of Zeus. Now the last list for this video here is actually probably the most hype one here, and it's actually Blackwings, ladies and gentlemen. Somebody made it into Platinum with none other than the elusive Blackwing Turbo deck. I know a lot of the nostalgia fanboys out here are going to love this deck. So we have two copies of Hiroshi the Squall, one copy of Blizzard the Far North, two copies of Gust the Beck. We have two copies of Harmattan, one copy of the Mist Valley Thunderbird, two copies of Gale, triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, basic hand trap things here. We have triple copies of Bora the Spear for extending purposes, two copies of Zephyros the Elite, two copies of Chris the Blackadon, or the Krakadon, one Oster, two copies of Simone, one copy of Apex Avion, one copy of Monster Reborn, triple copies of Allure Darkness, and then we have one copy of Rank Up Magic Soul Shave Force, two copies of Wing Requital. Hey man, just two Wing Beast monsters to draw some cards at what? The cost of 600 life points? Okay. We have triple Black Whirlwind for our searchability, triple copies of Crossout Designator, because we cannot be bothered to have our opponent hand trap the ever-living crap out of us. And then we have triple copies of Infinite Permanence here, wrapping up the main deck. Now, Ember Extra Deck is going to be mainly focused on producing powerful synchro monsters, such as our Full Armor Master. So we have one copy of Nathung, one copy of Obsidian, one copy of Reikiri, one copy of Chidori, one copy of Borreload Savage Dragon, of course. Then we have the one Full Armor Master, the one Abyss Dweller, the one Force Strix, the one Cyber Dragon Infinity, two copies of Weistrix, the one copy of the Union Care, one Simorgh Bird of Sovereignty, one Boral Sword OTK machine, and one copy of Apollosa here, kind of wrapping up a synchro toolbox strategy for this. Now, I'm not going to go too far in depth with Blackwings. Just understand this deck is still very synchro heavy, toolboxy. with now 95% more access to making Cyber Dragon Infinity because you go in through the 4 Strix. Its deck's actually really cool now. I'm really glad to see that they actually found a lot of cool ways to modernize Blackwings in general. So guys, what do you think about these decks? Please leave a comment down below what you guys think. Make sure you guys smash that little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. See your beautiful faces back. You learn them. They have some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.